What is up, YouTube? I am here with a review of a very powerful movie. Now, the first time I ever heard of this movie was in 2012. I remember going to a DVD store and my older cousin, he was like trying to get me to buy that movie, and then I at the time was more into wrestling, so I spent all my money on wrestling DVDs and stuff. But I decided to watch this movie recently because I've always heard it's a powerful movie. I'm a big fan of Edward Norton and Edward Furlong, so it was pretty much a must-watch for me. So I picked up the movie, and I didn't pick it up. I watched it on Tubi. I probably will end up picking it up though. I don't have it on Blu-ray just yet, but yeah, it's a very powerful movie. It starts off with Edward Furlong and Edward Norton. They're kind of in the same house. They're brothers. Edward Norton's the younger brother. He kind of follows the same path as Edward Norton. I believe he was like 21 and Edward Norton was like 28 or 29 when the movie was shot. I like the cast. Some people said they didn't like Edward Furlong in it, but I like it. He wasn't in a lot of movies, shockingly. I mean, he's a good actor. Basically, there's some black people breaking into his car and stuff, and he's very racist. He has a Nazi tattoo on his chest, and he's looking for any reason he can to kill black people. It's a very race-driven movie. He goes and he kills them and everything. He ends up in prison, and there was one part in the movie where he makes one of them bite the curb. Like, they literally bite the curb with their teeth, and then he stomps their head into it. It was brutal. Very brutal. I've seen in an interview where he said he used a crash dummy or something like that. But it was still a very, very brutal scene. Very good movie. It stars Ethan Suplee. The guy from My Name is Earl. It stars him too. He plays Seth. Edward Furlong is Danny. And Derek is played by Edward Norton. I've heard Edward Norton was very hard to work with on this set, and he had constant change of ideas and everything with the director. And but apparently the director ended up admitting that Norton was right in the long run about changing up the script and everything. Very powerful movie, very good movie. It was a great movie, don't get me wrong, but I see how it could have been better. I think I gave it an 8 out of 10 when I was done with it. Maybe that's too low, I don't know, but very good movie. I thought it could have been a little bit longer, actually, surprisingly. There's a lot of racism. There's a scene in the movie where him and his white supremacist group barge into a store ran by illegal immigrants, and they hired immigrants and everything, and they just torture them and just beat the shit out of them. Very, very brutal movie. Towards the end, when Edward Furlong gets shot, I'm sure everyone's seen this movie. When he gets shot, like, I actually called that. I said, I feel like something's going to happen. I don't see Edward Norton getting shot because that would be too predictable. So I was like, I feel like his brother's going to get shot. I didn't know how or when, but he got shot in the school bathroom. There was a scene where he blew smoke in the bathroom, stopping some kid from getting bullied, which that makes him likable. He's not necessarily supposed to be likable in this movie, you know what I mean? But very good movie. There was some scenes where they use the N-word a lot in this movie. They said weed is like an N-word thing and all this other stuff. But there's a lot of crazy things in this movie. I don't like that girl who plays in Waterboy, who plays Edward Norton's girlfriend in this movie. I can't stand the way she looks. She also plays in The Waterboy as Vicky Valancourt. Cannot stand the way she looks. I don't know what it is. But there's a scene where they play basketball, and if the white dudes win, then the black dudes got to leave the court or whatever. And yeah, very race-driven movie on both ends, the black and white side. There was a scene that made me uncomfortable when he goes to prison. He's telling his little brother why he no longer wants to be associated with the white supremacist group that he was in. And he explains that he got raped in prison and all this other stuff, and that he met a black dude in prison he became friends with and stopped him from getting hurt by other black people because they knew he was racist. He was in there for killing black dudes. Very good movie. Very, very good movie. It's a very powerful movie. It's a movie that's definitely going to go down in history. One of a kind. This is a movie that definitely could never be made today. Never. I don't think it could ever be made today, even though we're heading in more of a less sensitive time with Trump in office. But It's a very powerful movie. Edward Furlong actually had bigger offers. His agent wanted him to take on bigger roles than this, but he chose to do this because I guess he's seen the potential with this movie and everything. And it was a very powerful movie. I don't regret watching it. I watched it with my wife. She enjoyed it. Overall, it was just very good. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I watched it. I think I gave it 8. Maybe that's too low. Maybe I should go higher. Maybe I should go like an 8.5 out of 10. A very, very powerful movie. I really enjoyed it. I didn't really like Ethan Suplee's character in this movie. He was just always screaming and yelling for no reason. Like, I don't know. It just kind of got on my nerves. But I will admit that it was very eerie towards the end when you just knew someone was getting shot and it ended up being his little brother. Like, their blood splattered all over the wall, and Edward Norton ran back into the school and he felt that something had happened to his brother, and he tried to stop it and everything. I loved it, man. It's definitely a movie I'll revisit sometime in the future, and I want to own this on Blu-ray. It's a very good movie. I love powerful movies. It basically teaches you that if you put hate out there, nothing good comes from it. You're just gonna multiply the hate. Because the black dude who shot Edward Furlong at the end of the movie, his brother, he was probably a normal guy too. That was on the same type of shit he was, just the opposite race. But it was a very good movie, man. Very good. I'm trying to think if there's any scenes that I wanted to cover. Very violent, very, very violent movie. Very hard language. The curb stomp scene was crazy, man. I don't think I've ever seen a scene like that in a movie. It was very shocking. Like, I cringed. Someone commented on my YouTube short and was like, get ready. I posted it, I was watching it. They was like, get ready for the curb scene. I was like, what does that mean? I watched it and I instantly knew what he was talking about. It was crazy. But, just a very, very interesting movie. I suggest checking it out. I give the movie an 8, maybe an 8.5 out of 10. Go check out American History X. Peace out. More movie reviews to come.